Good afternoon, guys. I'm in the kitchen, and I told you all that I was going to come back and I was going to bake a cake today. This is a cake that I've baked before. If you've already seen this, then it might just be a redo for you. But if you've never seen one of these made, it's a very easy cake to make, and it's really good. And if you like pineapple, now this is summertime cakes kind of. This is going to be a pineapple sunshine cake. And you're going to need 1 box of yellow cake mix, 1/2 cup of oil, 1/2 can, I use a 1/2 can, sometimes 2/3 of a can of this in the cake, of crushed pineapple, and I use about 1/2 cup of sour cream, sometimes a little bit more, and 4 eggs. So, and a little bit of water, not a lot, or milk. Most of the time I use buttermilk in this. But since I'm using the sour cream today, I might just use a little bit of water with it. There's lots of things you can do. If you don't have buttermilk, you can always use sour cream and just add a little water to it. Just about 2/3 of a cup of sour cream and 1/4 of a cup of water, and you got basically buttermilk. It's the same principle. But anyway, we're going to get started on it, and I'm going to open up my cake mix here. And I'm going to be baking it in a 9 by 13 pan, and I'm going to be putting the pineapple Cool Whip icing on it. You use vanilla pudding, crushed pineapple, and Cool Whip to make the icing. It makes a really good icing. It's not real heavy. If you wanted to make it more, just a little bit richer, you can always add about 4 ounces of cream cheese. I have added sour cream to it before. Just something to kind of give it that little tang. The pineapple does a good job. And you're putting pineapple juice in it, so, See, now the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to take my mixer blades just a second, just kind of mess this up a little bit. Sometimes these cake mixes are really packed in there, and I don't think they mix up as good when you do that. So I just kind of mix them up a little bit. Now, the regular recipe calls for a cup of water, 3 eggs, and 1/2 cup of oil. Of course, I'm switching it a little bit because I want the cake to be better. It's just, you can doctor cake mixes up. There's the pineapple. Now, I'll show you what I do. I just take me a big spoon, and I just get it out right like this. Let me scoot you back just a little bit here so you can see. And I put the juice with it too. And I leave about that much, about 1/3 of the can. So I'm using about 2/3 of it. Now we're going to put the oil in. Somebody the other day posted a thing on Facebook, said, is Billy Watson. She said, are they putting lids on tighter? I said, well, they're either putting them on tighter or I'm turning into a weenie one. I don't know which. So there's a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to set my oil back over here so I don't put the same thing in twice. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of sour cream. And this is the way I do my sour cream. I just do it like this. I just get me out, about what looks about right. About a 1/2 cup, 3/4 a cup. And I may not need any water at all. I'm going to mix this up just a little bit here and see how it looks. Now, I may not need 4 eggs. I may only need 3. These are some of my brown eggs I bought the other day. I kind of try to always look at them before I put them in there. You can kind of see the egg if you pay attention. You can look at it. You can tell. If you were raised on a farm, you know if an egg's bad. And you can figure it out pretty quick. Now I'm going to mix that up and see how it looks. Sometimes I will add just a little bit of flour, a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of baking powder, just so I can make it just a little bit bigger cake. Now sometimes people will put just a little bit, like a couple teaspoons of pineapple jello in it, and you can do that if you want to, or you can put some, just a little bit of pudding in it if you want it to be a kind of more moist cake, but really it's a pretty moist cake like this, so you really don't have to do that. I'm going to take my 2 blades off here and try to get some of that off. And then, whoops, got my spoon over there in the way. And it's not a real thick batter, and it's not a real thin batter. What is that? Looks like a piece of pineapple that doesn't look too good. Probably got a piece of core in it. Sometimes you get pieces of fruit out of cans that you have to kind of watch. Let me rinse my hand off here just a little bit. Get my dish towel. Dry my hand off. Now, let me spray my pan here. I was so aggravated today. I bought this pan and they had put a sticker right here in the middle of it. And it wasn't a sticker that comes off easy. So I had to wash and scrape this pan. And I thought, what person doesn't know that if you got a sticker, you put it back here, not on the part where you cook the cake. I don't know about these people that work in these stores anymore. I think common sense has left the building. Now we're going to put the pan right here, and we're going to put the batter in. Now I bought some cans, little cans of pineapple juice that you actually could use in this part of, like if you just wanted the pineapple flavor, if you wanted to mix it in with pudding mix and stuff, and not put the pineapple itself in it. But I think the pineapple itself is what makes it really good. Now if you wanted to, you could add, it wouldn't be a pineapple sunshine cake though. I have seen people add coconut. I have seen people add mandarin oranges. I don't normally do that to this cake. I just like it is. So I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees, and it's going to take about 25 to 30 minutes to cook. It just varies. You have to check your oven. You know how hot your oven burns. And I just check the very center of the cake. Just touch the very center. If it's kind of firm and doesn't sink in, you don't want to tap it enough to make it sink in though. You just got to very lightly touch it. Most of the time, if you've baked for a long time like I have, you can tell if they're done. If they're pretty well raised up there and it doesn't look wet, most of the time they're done. So anyway, I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll be right back. Now, while the cake is cooking, I usually will go ahead and pour the rest of my pineapple and juice into a container. And I'm going to use this in the icing. I'm going to mix this with some vanilla pudding, or sometimes I don't use vanilla. I use cheesecake flavor or white chocolate flavor. I just like it better. And I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to put me a lid on it. And I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator because I want it cold. Okay? Let me put my sour cream up. And I need to put my eggs up. Usually I leave my eggs sitting over here on the counter. If eggs haven't been washed and they're, they'll keep on the counter for 2 or 3 weeks. They don't ruin. People in the city don't know this stuff. They weren't raised on a farm, and they don't know how. It's amazing how God did things. God knew. God just knew how to do it. Me. But anyway, I'm gonna run some water in that pan, and I like to wash my dishes up as I go. And when this cake comes out of the oven, I'll show you what it looks like. And I will make the icing in a separate video because you have to let this cake get completely cool before you can put the icing on it. And then you have to put it in the refrigerator. It's stored in the refrigerator. Now, if you don't want to use Cool Whip, you can use whipped cream. If you want to make your own whipped cream and do that, you can do that. By all means, go right ahead. You need 1 pack of Jell-O cheesecake instant pudding. It's a 3.4, the small pack, and 1 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple, about what I have there, about 1/3 of a can of crushed pineapple. And you mix that up first, and then you add the Cool Whip in it, or the whipped cream, whichever one you want to do. And then you just blend it up really good and put it on the cake and put it in the fridge, and it's ready to go. It's ready to go. So I'll be back later to show you how to make that icing, and I'll post this video. This is Tuesday, April the 7th, I guess. I made one earlier this morning making the fudge, but I thought I'd go ahead and show you how to make this sunshine cake because Easter is coming up, and a lot of people love to make, have Easter dinner. And I don't know if, let me turn the water off. My pan's full. I like to celebrate Easter because that's Passover. That's when Jesus, on Good Friday, that's when Jesus went to the cross and was crucified. And then Saturday, he laid in the tomb, and Sunday, he rose again. So that's why we celebrate Easter. It has nothing to do with bunny rabbits and eggs. We celebrate Easter because it celebrates the resurrection of our Savior, Jesus Christ. So you all have a good week, and Easter is coming up on April the 20th. April the 20th is Easter. And kind of be planning things now. I'm going to be making some things, some kind of springy desserts that you might want to use for Easter. Easy ones. I'm going to make a trifle. That's easy to make. You just use if you want a chocolate trifle or a peanut butter fudge trifle or different things. If you all will tell me kind of what you want to see, I'll try to make something like that. The peanut butter fudge trifle is delicious, and the lemon blueberry is delicious. They're all kinds of. The strawberry, you just use a yellow cake, and you make your cream cheese layer, and which has cream cheese, a little bit of confectionery sugar, a box of cheesecake instant pudding, and a cup and a half of milk, and 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, and then a tub of Cool Whip. You mix it, got to mix it all together and get it real creamy. I made a lemon cake, a lemon blueberry cake, and took there our church dinner Sunday. And it was delicious. It was so good. Maybe it's because I haven't had sweets hardly for the last year, but I love lemon and blueberry together. And it was so good, so good. And we had a lot of good food there, though. There's lots of good cooks there at our church. So, but anyway, I've got a thing of lemon stuff in the refrigerator. I've got blueberry compote made. I've got strawberries in gel ready. I've got stuff ready. I'm ready to go. I'm making this cake to take up to the men's shelter. I did call and check about it. They are open. You can drive down there. So, I call and check before I go. But anyway, you all have a blessed day. And remember, this cake is just simple. If you want the recipe, it's on my page somewhere. But if you want it, I'll put it back on for you if you were to want to make this. I've got a friend that lives in Casey County, and her son absolutely loves this cake, Sarah Gosser. And she said her son just absolutely loved this cake. And people that like pineapple, they probably do. If you don't like pineapple, you might not like this cake. And there's people that don't. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, and you all have a blessed day. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.